سيكون فرصة لنعقد لقاءات علمية أخرى حول الموضوع. ما نحن متفقين عليه خلال هذين اليومين هو أننا أمام أزمة بنيوية عميقة سببها الإنسان بفضل عدوانه على الطبيعة، واليوم نحن نتباحث ونناقش كيف يمكن أن نعالج هذه الأزمة البنيوية. نحن أمام أزمة بنيوية ولسنا أمام أزمة ظرفية، هذا ما ينبغي أن نلقي عليه. نلتقي اليوم في سياق قد نصفه بسياق ما بعد جائحة كوفيد-19 التي اعتقدنا وكأنها نهاية العالم وأصيب العالم بالذعر وبالرعب. اليوم نحن تأكدنا أننا كنا أمام أزمة عابرة، وأن الأزمة البنيوية التي كانت قبل كوفيد-19 وستبقى بعد كوفيد-19
et avec son délégation ainsi que les sociétés du RI qui ont sponsorisé cet événement et qui ont participé de manière massive avec le transfert de leur matériel de certaines villes qui sont lointaines de 2الداخلة. Ce n'est pas facile. Peut-être on peut faire des remarques, des critiques, mais pour réaliser et pour faire des événements de grande envergure, il faut effectivement s'y mettre et se donner le temps pour qu'ils réussissent et pour qu'ils aboutissent. Comme je remercie également le groupe O de l'IAV pour leur contribution et la publication du livre blanc qui est plein de recommandations au niveau de la problématique de l'eau. Je remercie également le CCME, le Conseil comité marocain à l'étranger, pour leur apport et leur soutien à cet événement. C'est vrai que ça a été toujours en contact avec M. Bartali, mais il est connecté avec Bartali, moi je suis connecté avec Bartali de l'autre côté.
Layer, this data is in the context world that can be consumed using standard APIs by services that are developed for the final user. Next, I will show you an overview of the main services available in this platform, located in present. Well, these services allow us to improve resources use by means of information and communication technology solutions. The services.
The pesticide, the fertilizers. So this is a much larger scale problem, and it requires some on-the-ground solutions. Some of the solutions that are applied, and of course we can have a discussion about each one individually later if you wish, but riparian buffers are used, sediment basin, crop cover, contour farming. So these are solutions on the ground to deal with environmental problems in agricultural watersheds. So what do I do personally? Well, I look at these conservation practices and I do machine learning optimization to find what is the best type, what is the best location, what are the best parameters to have a trade-off between conservation gains and also economical benefits. So that's my goal, that's the project I work on. It's funded by the National Resource Conservation Service, which is part of the Department of Agriculture in the US. And then these are some of the papers that detail all the work if you are interested. But today I'll just give you a short description. So what we do mostly is watershed modeling. We use the NAGNIFs. These are some of the inputs we use: topography, weather, soil management. So we try to get a holistic view about the watershed to be able to make predictions. And then based on a good understanding, a good model of those watershed, then we play if scenario. If we change the crop to this type of crop, like wheat and soybean, if we build sediment basin to capture the sediment, if we have vegetation along the streams, then we play those if scenarios and make prediction that we recommend to the governments of the US to what type of implementation to make on the ground in terms of those conservation practices. So before we go to the ground and build those best management practices, we actually simulate them in the computer, and then we also do some optimization between cost, how much land that will take, but also what are the benefits for soil, for water long term. This is just a side part of the project. I can't spend too much time on it due to time constraints, but we also use LiDAR to delineate the vegetation, and this is the other side project under this big umbrella of soil and water resource conservation. I'll be happy to talk to you more about it if you're interested. The next step under this big project, so we just got funded by the National Institute of Food and Agriculture in the US, and now we're interested in, okay, what's next? Climate change is happening, it's impacting temperature, soil moisture, evaporation, so then how can we adapt in this century so agriculture continue thriving in the US? So that's 2 minutes, okay. I really don't have time. I'm gonna skip quickly to this project to give you a 1 minute idea about it and then a 1 minute idea about recommendations. So this other project is about drought management in aquifers, in underground water. So we look at major US aquifers, we use mostly satellite data, and we are interested in knowing when the drought happened and how long it will take for the aquifer to respond and how long it will take for it to recover. So we go look at a long series of drought events across major US aquifers, and then we draw conclusions about what's the best management practice or management approach for each one of them. And the biggest highlight I would like to share with you today is that we discovered that the age of the water plays a major role, and we do some age dating technology. The age of the water plays a major role in how much fast or slow recovery after a drought event, because after a drought event, aquifers are going to take some time to go back to their original state. So that's project number 2. Now some lessons learned, recommendation for the Moroccan context. I would recommend investing in crop engineering. We already use it to use less pesticide, to increase food supply, but the research is very not advanced in crop genetic engineering to resist to climate change. We can make some crops that would be persistent and less vulnerable to long periods of drought like Morocco is seeing. Also, age dating, I would recommend dating the different types of aquifers around Morocco to better manage drought events. Surveying conservation practices, educate farmers about the benefits, because the farmers are going to be interested in the economical value. But the long term
مرفوعة إلى مقام حضرة صاحب الجلالة الملك محمد السادس نصره الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين، مولاي صاحب الجلالة والمهابة الملك محمد السادس أدام الله عزه وخلد في الصالحات ذكركم. نعم سيدي أعزكم الله. يتشرف خادم أحتاب الشريفة عزيز فتاحي رئيس الجمعية الوطنية لتحسينات العقارية والري وصرف المياه والبيئة أصالة عن نفسه ونيابة عن أعضاء الجمعية والمشاركات والمشاركين في أشغال المؤتمر الدولي العاشر للري الموضعي تحت شعار الري الموضعي.